Well, hi, Denny. Thanks for sitting down and chatting to me today. Maybe you could start by just giving a little intro of who you are, your organization, and kind of when we got started.
Great. So my name is Denny Henderson, and I work with Faircode. And what we do is we partner with hospitals to help them deliver additional revenue and margin to their businesses by leveraging physicians to review clinical documentation, post-coding, and CDI, but on a pre-bill basis. So really helping those hospitals capture the acuity that they're losing on a daily basis by not leveraging their physician in that process.
Got it. So we've been working together since I think 2017, so a while.
Yeah.
It's like 7 or 8 years. So if you can remember all the way back to when we first started, do you recall kind of what made you initially make the decision to work with us?
Yeah. So why we got into working with Connex, and this was really the thing that as we were kind of a regional business, we were looking to expand on a more national case. And what we were finding was as we attended conferences and we would, do the booth thing, it was a challenge to actually get some of these large decision makers from other areas of the country at these events. And in partnering with you, we were able to do is actually get connected to the people that really were making the decisions and that we could have an impact with in a very quick, direct way. And that for us was amazing. So being able to come to the conferences or, be set up in a one-on-one meeting, have that 30 minutes of time with an executive really allowed us to have a real conversation. And so often in the sales process, particularly in the beginning piece, you don't have that opportunity to really get connected in an easy way. So for us, it was a no-brainer, and within I think my first 3 conferences, I had business booked in each one. So this has been something that for me, year over year, new relationships and new opportunities that I don't think I would have met some of these executives had I not had that relationship with you.
Yeah, no, that's great. You mentioned actually some other things that, obviously there's other things out there. There's other meeting formats and things like that, other conferences. What do you feel differentiates what we do from your point of view, from what you see in other places?
So I think the thing that I've been impressed with is your ability to engage with the hospital before I'm meeting with them and really understand kind of what their needs are, what they're overall looking for. And because of our connection and your understanding of my business, you're able to essentially be like me with them, to where when I would get set up with them, they've already got a sense of what my company does, and the report that you provide to me about kind of what their issues are, what they're dealing with, really allows me to come into that meeting and quickly hit the ground running and really focus on just building a relationship, because we already have a qualified, we already know, hey, we have this problem and I have a solution that is of interest.
Yeah. So you sort of further advanced in that conversation than if you just sort of met them randomly, basically. Yeah. How about once you've met with someone through us, obviously the sales cycles for what you do along, whether that's true, I think, for every one of our solution partners. How do you find we're helpful in navigating that sales process, even post-sale, right? Because obviously you made a number of deals over the years. How are we helpful to you in that sense?
So I think one of the things that's very helpful is being able to get that feedback from you after the meeting, because sometimes you're in a meeting, it feels like this is the greatest thing, absolutely gonna close, like I know I'm gonna get it, and then you're like, I sent that email. I haven't heard anything back. It's been a little bit. Like, what's kind of going on? And then being able to connect with you about, hey, this is kind of what's going on. They are very interested. There's just some other things came up. Just allowed me to feel a little bit more comfortable and better redirect my approach on that follow-up sometimes. And that's been, super helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not every meeting, is going to be, fireworks on the first date. But because I have had this long-term relationship with you, I've had the opportunity to see people at multiple meetings. And while it didn't close on the first fireworks meeting, 6 months down the road, I've got to see them again. And now it's in a conversation that is moving along and closing.
Yeah, I think you touched on something that's important there, right? There's a relationship that you build with someone. Yes, they have a need, but there's also, they need to get to know you and your organization. Everyone's a little bit different in that speed of that and the trust that you need to build. And also just their other priorities, right? Sometimes they've got other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of times and I'm sure this is true in all industries, but, meeting someone, having that, like, this is a great solution, a great fit for what we need, but this is not something that we can take on at this time. This is something that I've got 3 other things going on. I've got an Epic implementation coming up, This is something we want to tackle in 6 months. But because I've got that relationship with Connex, I know that I can stay connected with them, and whether it's working directly with them or knowing, working with you to hey, I think a second meeting with this group would be very helpful. Can you help set that up? And you've been very accommodating to do that.
Yeah. Awesome, Denny. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Ben. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.